Morning, how you guys doing? It's Mike back with the thought of the day, September 18th, 2025. First, I want to give honor and praise to Ahaya Shor Ahaya, Bahashem Yeshai Rawakadash, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. And I like to open with this serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May your will, not mine, be done. Today's topic is, do you want to really change, or you want just the absence of pain and consequences? As I go on this journey in addiction and continuing to try to better my life, and I run into different people and hear different stories and look at different situations, and I see, and most of you people can relate to, many people don't really want to change. They just want the absence of pain during that current situation. Change requires a lot of work, a lot of self-reflection. You got to really identify what's really wrong. You got to dig under the crevices and get all that dirt out. Really got to clean house, and that's a lot for many people to do. So they don't want to go to that process of changing. They just want the consequences and the pain to go away. They want those charges to go away. They want the spouse to stop being on their back. They want the judge to leave them alone. They want the people at the job to stop nagging them because they keep coming in late. They just want the consequences to go away. They don't really want to change. Not understanding that the addiction is just the substances that you're using. The real problem is your behavior. I remember a guy told me at a meeting, he was like, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you never have to drink again, but the bad news is drinking was never your problem. It was the way you think. See, the substances we use, the drugs and the alcohol, are mere substances that we use to mask what's really going on inside of us. Our real problem is our behavior. So our behaviors was problems before we even decided to pick up a drink. So, and I had conversations with one of my brothers who's no longer here. And we had a conversation before, and he told me, like, I want to stop drinking, but I like being an asshole. And I had to explain to him the drinking is not the problem. The problem is that you're an asshole. Excuse my French, but that's what our conversation was. And not understanding, in due time, you can put down the alcohol or the drugs, but if you're still being a butthole, in due time, they're going to pick up the substances again, because that behavior is going to lead to some consequences that you're not going to be able to face. And then you're going to pick up that stuff to try to mask the consequences. So it's not the fact that the alcohol and all of that kind of stuff is not the reason you cheat. The reason you drink is because inside you're a cheater. And until you really look at yourself and take ownership of what's really going on in your life and get to the root of why you're like that, you're not going to change. And that's why most people in these situations like that I'm coming across, they want the pain to go away, but the change part, they don't want to change. And I understand, because it's scary. You don't even know who that new person is. You don't even know if you're going to like that new person that you change into. So it's way more comfortable being who you are. But you figure, if I could still be who I am, I'm just not going to pick up a drink or alcohol. I mean, a drink or drugs. But I'm telling you, in due time, those behaviors return, and you start going out doing the stuff that you used to do, thinking that you're not going to drink or pick up drugs. And eventually, some consequences, some uneasy feelings, some new person you start messing with, you know what I mean? Because I've seen guys that get with new women, or women that get with new guys, and then that triggers them to pick up the drink or the drug again. And it wasn't because they wanted to pick up the drink and the drug in the beginning. It was because they couldn't stop the behavior of fornication. It all comes back to our behaviors, man. So you got to really ask yourself, do I really want to change, or I just want the absence of pain and consequences? Because I know many people definitely told me that if I could drink or drug without the consequences, I would never stop. But not understanding, it's the behavior underneath all of that is the problem. We pick that stuff up because of our behaviors. And until we get to the bottom of why our behaviors are such a way, and that comes with the process of changing, If we don't do that, you're just gonna keep being on the hamster wheel over and over. This is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom.